Zach back out here again from Down South Racing, and today I want to talk to you all about something that obviously comes up a lot in the automotive world. It's a rivalry that's been going on probably longer than any automotive rivalry, and obviously I'm talking about the Camaro versus Mustang, and more specifically the kind of the two latest track-focused Mustang and Camaro enemies, I suppose you could call them, from Ford and Chevrolet. And so that would be the new 2018 Performance Package Level 2 Mustang GT and the couple years old now Camaro 6th Gen SS1LE. So Motortrend recently, actually I think just today, put out their article about their review of the Performance Pack Level 2 GT, and you can go check it out on their website. But they basically made it a comparison, although not direct, because they didn't have an SS1LE there on the same day, of the two. So they are same kind of track, same roads, same drivers, stuff like that though. So obviously going to be very similar, you know, testing conditions and whatnot. So first and foremost, the Camaro SS1LE is an incredible track machine and a supercar slaying performance bargain almost. It went around Laguna Seca in 1 minute and 37.7 seconds. So it is incredible. You know, that's less than a second slower than a GT350R. So the Performance Pack Level 1 versus the SS1LE, they're not even really in the same league. We're talking like more than 2 seconds a lap slower for the Mustang. So the Performance Pack Level 2 Mustang, you get wider wheels and tires, 19 by 10.5 inch in the front, 19 by 11 inch in the rear. So basically 1.5 inches wider versus Performance Pack Level 1. And so you get 305 section Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires at all 4 corners. So obviously your grip is going to be improved, and you get a track-focused Magna-Ride suspension, retuned anti-roll bars and stuff like that. And so you also get a larger front splitter, like reminiscent of the Boss 302 Laguna Seca in the front, and a different rear wing. So obviously the Performance Pack Level 2 is all about, you know, track work. And the Camaro SS1LE is obviously, you know, also about track work. And so the very similar. The advantage that the Camaro has is the 6th Gen Alpha platform. So that platform, you know, relies heavily on aluminum and stuff like that. And so the Camaro is about 100 pounds lighter than the Mustang. And don't take Ford or Chevy's word for the horsepower, whatever you do. They are very severely underrated, both of them making well over 30 plus, probably more horsepower than what they advertise. They both dyno about 430 wheel horsepower, so you can take a 10% correction factor and be more than what they have, and so you're probably looking more like 12 or so. So, you know, I mean, you add 45 or so, 46 to 430. Obviously, you know, you're going to be more than 455 and 460. And so they are underrated a little bit, but in Ford's case, that is to protect the GT350. In Chevy's case, I'm really not sure, because it is technically supposed to be the same LT1 in the Corvettes, and the Corvettes dyno about 20 wheel horsepower less. But nonetheless, the Mustang made up some serious ground, and it was still slower than the SS1LE, but I kind of expected that. And it ran a 138 or so in Motortrend's best driver's car test. So about 0.6 of a second slower is what I think Motortrend said. Mustang and Camaro, they were both tied in terms of braking performance. Both stopped from 60 to 0 in 94 feet. But the Camaro, I think, edged out the Mustang in the quarter mile by a couple tenths. Went 12.4 versus 12.6. And had a higher trap speed, also a little bit over a mile an hour. It's about 114 for the Camaro, 113 for the Mustang. Now the Performance Pack Level 1 Mustang, surprisingly, actually runs the same 12.6, but traps higher, but it gets to 60 a tenth slower. You know, the wider tires on the PP2, as they call it, Performance Pack 2, obviously help with the launch and stuff. And so what I want to talk to you all about is, you know, which one should you buy? And that is purely up to what you really want to do with the car. If you are looking for nothing other than a track car, buy the SS1LE Camaro and throw a set of R compound tires on and run rings around your competition. So keep in mind that the Camaro has F1 Goodyear F1 Eagle supercar tires on it, and so those aren't even an R compound like the Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 or the old Pirelli Trofeo Rs on the Z28. So obviously, you know, if you threw the set of those on there, it would run rings around the Mustang. It is just a better car. I think Chevy has the suspension much better tuned than the Mustang, and that was one of Motortrend Randy Pope's complaints was the Mustang on the road and stuff like that. You know, it just didn't ride very well, and you know, obviously it's stiffened up 20% even over the already stiffer performance pack, and it's got humongous tires and stuff, so it was obviously going to do pretty good as far as lap time. But you know, Chevy kind of invented the Magna Ride, and so they're obviously going to have probably a little bit better fine tuning and stuff. They've been in the game for longer. But if you want a car to drive every day, is the Mustang still the better choice? If you want a car to drive every day, I would suggest getting the Performance Pack Level 1. It's, you know, it's going to be softer, it's going to have less aggressive tires and stuff like that, so it is going to be more road-oriented versus track-oriented. Now, I do think that the Mustang is a good alternative to the Camaro. If you are a Mustang fan or for some reason you don't want to buy the Camaro, it is a very good alternative. And they are very competitive in terms of price. Both somewhere around the $45,000 range is what you can get them for. You can obviously option them up, or I think if you did a stripped down Performance Pack 2, I guess what's the base price of a Mustang GT? 36. So 36 plus $6,500. So I guess about 43,000 you could get the Performance Pack Level 2. And both these cars are only available in a 6-speed manual, so that's a big deal to purists. You can imagine, though, even if they did have the automatics, they would probably still be faster yet. And the Mustang might even make up even more ground thanks to its 10-speed auto. But we'll have to see what the Camaro does with the 10-speed auto in the 2019 refresh. No word whether or not it's going to get more power or anything yet, but we'll have to see. Before you start hating on me because you know I drive a Mustang, just know that I'm a fan of all cars, and I'm a really big fan of the 6th-gen Camaros. I think they look incredible. Even though they do look very similar to the 5th-gens, I just think every subtle change that they made the car just look absolutely gorgeous. And my only complaint still yet about the Camaros, I've driven a 6th-gen, I've driven a 5th-gen, you just cannot see out of them. I'm 6'4", almost 6'5". I should be able to see out of anything. You know, I sit up high in the car, and in the Camaro, you're hunkered down a lot like this, and your windshield just feels like it's only a foot tall. Your windows feel like, you know, they're only 8 inches tall or something like that. So I think, you know, if Chevy could find a way to make you be able to see out of the Camaro, it would be an incredible car. Can you get used to not being able to see? And obviously, you know where your blind spots are and stuff. Absolutely. If you drive the car every day, I mean, you're going to get used to it. But the Mustang, you know, base for base is just a more, you know, user-friendly everyday car. It's got a little bit bigger trunk, a little bit smoother ride, stuff like that. But now, in comparison to the Performance Pack 2 and SS1LE, Motortrend says that the SS1LE soaks up bumps much better, you know, and like I said, that gets back into the fact that Chevy has had longer time to work on their Magna Ride and stuff, and it just probably better damping, you know, that stuff like that. Mustang was a response to the Camaro, so you know, it's kind of rushed. It was kind of like a underground skunkworks type of team working on the Performance Pack Level 2 to release to the public. But you know, again, if you want a track-focused Mustang, I would suggest getting a new a GT350, because honestly, when you option up a Performance Pack 2 or any 2018 Mustang, 50 grand, you can fork over a couple more grand to get a GT350. And so, you know, that versus a Camaro SS1LE would probably be spot on. And you know, it is a Shelby, and the direct comparison would be like a Shelby to a Z28, but you know, if you get the Performance Pack Level 2 GT, that's, you know, what you're supposed to be comparing against the SS1LE with. So guys, I want to know down in the comments below, firstly, which one you would choose, obviously, but secondly, if you have a Performance Pack Level 2 2018 or 2019 Mustang or a 6th-gen SS1LE, give me your thoughts about it. You know, let me know what you all would do. If you know, would you trade knowing now what you know, or, you know, would you stick with what you got? And so obviously, you know, both are very comparable in the end. Like I said, you know, Motortrend gave the edge to the SS1LE, better handling, you know, better driving experience, better ride and stuff like that. They like the Mustang's brakes better, but that's about it. In terms of acceleration, I know the Camaro won, but I think on top end the Coyote would eventually come around. It's probably making a little bit more power and a lot more on the top end. So if you watch Motortrend's head-to-head of the Performance Pack Level 1 versus the SS1LE, the SS1LE still beat that one to the quarter mile, but they did a mile race on a dry lake bed, and the Mustang was trapping like 6 or 7 miles an hour higher and was like 10 cars in front of the Camaro. So obviously, you know, the Performance Pack Level 2 has a little bit more downforce and isn't going to be quite as fast, but I still think it would come around thanks to the taller gearing and stuff like that. And that's manual versus manual, not 10-speed auto or anything. 10-speed auto would be even worse. But you really never know, guys. When cars are so close, it's almost down to the driver, and you know, like the same driver, same day, obviously stuff like that. That's how you find out the differences. But in the real world, who knows? If you're in one and you're a better driver than the guy you pull up next to in the other one, you're gonna win. It's just as simple as that. But again, guys, I just want to know what you all think, and I want to know your all's thoughts and stuff like that down below in the comments. So go ahead and do that, and subscribe if you haven't already. We're almost at 3,100 subs, so that's awesome, and I'm really appreciative of that. Thank you all for the continued support, and drop this video a like. I hope you found it informative and stuff like that. But like I said, guys, we always say put out videos 3 to 5 times a week or so. Now school's about to start. It might get a little harder to make 5, might be more on the 3 side, but we always try to put out good content, somewhat during the week, and hopefully you like it. But we do a bunch of different stuff on this channel, so check us out. Go check out our page and follow us on Instagram, Down South Racing 606. We have a Facebook page and a Twitter that we don't really use those, but we have the names just in case. We didn't want to, in case in years to come, in case we get a little bit larger, we didn't want to want to make that stuff and those names already be taken. So the links are in the description below. Like I said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will catch you on the next one. But until then,